going right back out to the Star Mechanical guest line, welcoming in our pal DJ Bean from What Chaos with Pete Blackburn. Hey, I have that hoodie too. We should have been matching today. Why didn't we think that through?
What has 4 thumbs and went to the All-Star game, apparently. These guys, right? Is that where you got it?
Yeah,
so we know. Thumbs you have.
The chat is wondering, and now so am I, is DJ your legal name?
I get this so much more as an adult than I ever did, or I guess in my 30s than I ever did in my 20s. My name is David John, and for some reason, it was never a question. No one cared about it when I was in my 20s, and now that I'm an old man, everybody's like, how does DJ happen? What's that? Is your name DJ? People meet me and think that I'm an actual DJ. I'm not. It's just like how, I don't know, like CC Sabathia or something, or PK Subban.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, to be fair, we have a guy in our office who exclusively goes by Bagged Milk, so I wasn't sure if DJ Bean was like some sort of internet persona you'd created for yourself or something like that, so I'm happy we're on the same page with that.
If I created an internet persona for myself, I would hope it would be good and better than, like, if this is an internet persona, then I am the worst at coming up with an internet persona in the world.
You are a Bruins guy, but this year you've been tweeting a lot about our Edmonton Oilers, DJ. Why do you love the Oil so much?
Okay, so I covered the Bruins from 2010 to 2016 when I was a beat writer, and that whole time, or I guess as the Oilers were a mess, I always had my eye on the Oilers, and I always enjoyed them. I didn't become a full-fledged Oil man doing all of the Daniel Plainview There Will Be Blood memes until a couple of years ago. I just love teams that are exciting and break your heart and make you ask why you're a fan of that team. I love the LA Chargers. There's a Chargers helmet behind me. There's also somewhere there behind me an Oilers pennant. I've always loved Leon Draisaitl. I was a Peter Chiarelli guy in Boston. Caught a lot of flack for that. My reporting was generally pro Chiarelli, and when he went to the Oilers and his first order of business was figuring out whether Leon Draisaitl was good and saying, yep, this will be the guy I keep. I think that's kind of slept on, maybe a little underappreciated, because as all the moving and shaking was done as he arrived there, an easy thing to do would have been to say, hey, you know what, let's take this recent high draft pick, turn into a defenseman, and then we've got our core here. Instead, he went and he signed some not amazing contracts, but whatever. NHL GM, you're going to get that. But that's generally how I'm an Oilers fan. And I love Zach Hyman.
You love Zach Hyman, and this will earn you a ton of great points with our chat, and you love Gene Principe.
Gene is my guy. Like, full stop. Love him so much. My favorite television show is Oilers Game. Period. You watch Gene, you watch him dick around. These incredible opens. He's so funny. None of it is forced. And if it is forced, shut up. You're forced. It's awesome. And then when you're not watching that, you get to watch Connor McDavid. Not a horrible deal.
And then also our commentary team is Jack Michaels, who just sweats for 60 minutes while he does his commentary. It's incredible stuff.
And Louis great.
And
too.
Louis
they
great
really,
too, of course.
Louis.
Yeah.
Those two are amazing. And I'm learning the deeper I get into Oilers Twitter that there's like Oilers broadcast fan fiction that is just terrific. People speculate about their dynamics. It's incredible. Like, I saw something recently that basically suggested like they're all having a slumber party during the games, which is kind of what it looks and sounds like. They're like, let's get together with my 3 favorite people, watch hockey. I can't imagine anything better than that.
We are spoiled. We try to be cognizant of that as much as we can. Let's talk a little bit about this game tonight. These two teams met not that long ago, whatever it was, 10 days, and it was an absolute shootout, game of the year. I'm expecting more of the same tonight, and I expect that once again, we're going to be sitting when the final buzzer eventually goes, being like, damn, 7 games of this in June would be mind-blowing.
You guys know Avery out there?
Yeah, we do know Avery.
Hey, that was served with a little... Anyway, I'm going to... Okay, I'm positive vibes only. Avery suggested yesterday that I will die if these teams meet in the cup final. And I told him, if these teams are even winning rounds, I will be dead long before they get there. Because just the idea of these two teams playing each other several times is outrageous. That 6-5 OT game was awesome. You had everything. The blown lead, the comeback, all of it. So exciting. Tonight, I do think is kind of going to be a little more like that because Boston just played a really, really good defensively sound game against a high-flying offense in the Maple Leafs. They've got a game the next day against the other high-flying offense and the one that has Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman, et cetera, et cetera. So I think the dam has to break. It probably will tonight. God bless Linus Ullmark. Hopefully he's up for the challenge, but I wouldn't want to be either goaltender tonight.
That's fair. I just another one on the Bruins. Looking at the way their season's gone right now, just 4 wins in their last 10, and it weirdly, when you just look at the records, kind of sums up the year in a way because I mean they're sitting second in the Atlantic. They're right there behind the Florida Panthers, but they've done it by racking up 14 loser points this year. What's this season been like for the Bruins? It clearly hasn't been quite as dominant as the run last year when they were the best regular season team ever, but we know Bergeron and Krejci gone. They found a way, and I commend them for the way they've powered through that and still put together a strong season, but this isn't the same Bruins team, right?
It's not the same Bruins team. They were not going to be bad, though, and that, I guess, is what has surprised people. The beginning of their schedule was easy, and you always have to keep in mind with the Bruins, whatever your expectation is for them, they're probably going to be a little better, and that doesn't mean that they're these incredible world beaters and that everybody gives up on them, but like they've appeared to have their last kick at the can like 13 years in a row. And every year you say, Chara's gone. That's got to be it. Tuukka's gone. That's got to be it. Krejci's gone. Bergeron's gone. And their generals like are learning from the best. Not that Chara and Bergeron are the greatest winners of all time, but truly utmost professionals, and all the glowing things that get said about them, you'd be very annoyed to find are indeed true. So there is a work ethic there. There is a culture there. They were not going to be a fringe playoff team this year. They were going to be one of the top 3 teams in the Atlantic. Now, the start of their schedule, as I said, probably got them a little momentum. JVR started strong. They had themselves feeling some kind of way. They were going to come back to earth, and that's what happened. They've blown a ton of leads. They've gone to a ton of overtime games. I mean, the fact that they've been able to pick up a couple in regulation recently has felt weird because it's just automatic. Multi-goal lead, 1-goal lead, doesn't matter. They're blowing it. It's going to overtime. I think that at the end of the day, they're playing in the easier conference, the more wide open conference, and every team that you could pick other than maybe Florida right now as this team wins the East, there's 2 or 3 holes you can poke in a bunch of them. And for Boston, it's defense. It's their ability to protect a lead. It is their forward depth. Those are all real issues, but what they have going for them is that most teams in the East have real issues.
Yeah.
Jake Debrusk, excuse me, it seems like isn't having the best season in the world. Do you think there's a chance the Bruins could actually move him as my voice just disappears?
Hey, well, I'll pick you up a little bit here. I'll be a good teammate. It's interesting to look at the Bruins ahead of the deadline because they have areas they need to address, DJ, but they got rid of all their future assets at last year's deadline. So how are they going to navigate this deadline? And is there a chance? I know there was weird internet rumors about Debrusk. Is there a chance he's actually potentially could be moved?
Beginning of the year, I thought that the Bruins had the most hockey trade roster in the NHL. And not necessarily even saying Debrusk them, but like Ullmark, if he waves his no move, Matt Grzelcyk, I thought. Then you can get to or Derek Forbort. Like there are guys that make money and range from pretty good to excellent that you could move, hopefully, in order to get something back in a bigger area of need. Debrusk would be interesting to me because I don't think that he resigns in Boston, and I've been not physically covering the team forever, so like I don't have a strong relationship there. Like that's not a an informed thought. he's been streaky throughout his time in Boston, and he's beloved by a lot of fans, but he's also lamented by a lot of fans because he is either that dude or you wonder where he's been for a couple of weeks. So if they can get something back, sure, but I think that if the Bruins were to move Debrusk, maybe if there's like a worse player who's a little more consistent and has like another year on their contract, but that would have to be some sort of 3-team maneuver, because I don't know what team that is contending is trading away a good wing right now straight up for Jake Debrusk. I'll tell you what, though, I've had designs about Debrusk in Edmonton for a long time and have wondered what that would look like. I think that in order for it to happen, it would have to be some sort of free agent hometown discount sort of thing. I don't know if you guys like him, though.
I think we all love him. I want the story, and I love Louis so much that I want that to play out for him.
Love Louis.
Last one I have for you. You made the promise on Twitter that if your YouTube account, What Chaos, gets to 4,000 subscribers, you and Pete will stream yourselves for 24 hours leading up to the deadline. Do you regret making that promise?
No, I want to do it. And I've even said, if we don't get the 4,000 subscribers in time, I'll just do a 24-hour trade deadline stream whenever we do get 4,000 followers. So like, if in 6.5 weeks we hit 4K, I would want to then do a 24-hour trade deadline show.
There you are. Producer Aaron just subscribed. Everybody in the chat.
Are you folks with me?
Subscribing too. We got like 600 people watching. Go subscribe to What Chaos, because I just want to see what the 24-hour stream would be like.
And I will tell you sincerely, we talk so much Oilers. I mean, the Oilers are the most interesting team in the NHL. There's no question about it, and I love them. Pete's tickled by them. We love Gene. We've had Gene on the show. We had like a probably half-hour sit-down with Gene that's on our YouTube page. He is amazing. We want to do some sort of collab with him tonight. Did learn that since it's the national game, it's probably not going to be the full Gene experience. That bums me out, but I understand that's how the world works.
Love Gina. Love what you and Pete are doing as well, DJ. Thanks for hopping on and doing this, man.
Thank you, friends.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.